Hello there guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. I hope all you guys are doing well today. If you're a France fan, I know you guys will be celebrating, cheering, proud of your team. You made it through to another semi-final of the World Cup, which you did in 2018 when you faced Belgium. So yeah, congratulations to you. If you're an England fan, you're just like me, heartbroken, angry, disappointed, and had a chance to do it, but we bottled it. We absolutely bottled it. The reason why we've lost today is because Gareth Southgate, most of the players, and especially the ref. That's why we've lost today. I'm gonna go each of them one by one in this video. But before we get started, if you wanna cheer me up because I'm heartbroken, I'm not smiling, I'm not happy. If you want to cheer me up, then make sure you click the like button if you enjoyed this reaction and click the share button so that you guys can let me know in the comments down below where do you agree or disagree with anything I said. Make sure you click the bell notification so that you never miss any of my YouTube content, especially the World Cup like this. And make sure you click the subscribe button if you're new. So yeah, it's really hard to take on this one. I'm just so heartbroken. So let me go through the lineup. So we basically started with a 4-3-3. So Pickford was in goal. Carl Walker was playing as right back. John Stones and Maguire as two centre backs. Luke Shaw's left back. Then Henderson, Rice, and Bellingham as the three midfields. Then the front three of Saka on the right, Foden on the left, and Kane up top. So it's basically an unchanged team that won 3-0 against Senegal in the round of 16 when we beat them. So yeah, so when I looked at this lineup, I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? It's the right decision because you cannot stop Raheem Sterling because he just came back from his home and yeah, so Henderson had a really good game. The same thing goes for Saka, Phil Foden, Kane as well. So yeah, so I thought the lineup was absolutely right, but I have to admit to you guys, I said in the last video that I was scared of France. I really was, and and I have to tell you guys that there was this one person that called me a terrible fan that saying that you're not back in England. I said to him, listen, I will back England because we've got really good players, but like I said, when is the last time that England ever beat a team that has won the World Cup? The likes of France, Germany, Italy, and all that stuff. When is the last time we've ever beat those teams? We've never done. So that's why I'm telling you guys the truth. I'm 100% scared of France because they've got really good players. Even though they have got players like Paul Pogba, Kante, oh, who's that guy from Real Madrid again? Karim Benzema. Even though they still haven't got their best players, I still think that they could do one this World Cup. And tonight proved that they did. Because guess what? They didn't have to allow Mbappe to do well. Giroud scored, and Chouameni scored a world-class goal. So they didn't have to always rely on Mbappe to beat us. All of them played really well, France. Hugo Lloris, yeah, he may concede the goal, but made some big saves. The likes of Harry Maguire, Kane, he made some big saves. So that's what I knew. I knew that I'd be scared of France. I still back England to beat them, but not 100%. You know, and I said to you guys that the only way I can see England beat France if we perform the same way as we did against Senegal and Gareth Southgate makes it right. But guess what? We didn't play like we didn't play Senegal, and Gareth Southgate didn't get it right in terms of the substitutions. He didn't. And I told you guys before the World Cup starts, I said to you guys that England will go as far as the quarterfinal. I don't see them, progress in the semi-final. I did tell you guys that. And this is why I didn't want to tell you guys that I don't want to get too excited and all that stuff. Because we faced a big team and we didn't win. So that tells you why Gareth Southgate for me has to go. He simply needs to go. Because even though he took us to the semi-final of the World Cup, he bottled that against Croatia. Italy, front of the Euro 2020, bottled that as well. Now his main job is to win it. Did he do that? No, because we didn't beat France. And this is the first time we faced France since 1982 of the World Cup. This is the first time, and we've lost to them. This tells you how bad Gareth Southgate is as an England manager. This is how bad he is. For me, the first half performance was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Saka was poor, Foden was poor, Henderson was poor. I thought Bellingham tried his best, and the same thing. Declan Rice, the first goal, he should have done better, but instead he allowed Mbappe to release it to Chukwuemeka, who scored that brilliant goal. Rice was terrible. I think he should have been off. The same thing goes for Henderson. I'd have taken off Foden and not Saka, because Saka got the penalty which Harry Kane did score. So I would have taken off Saka. I'd have taken off Foden, maybe Rice, maybe Henderson. That's the only thing I would take. But the one thing I'll criticize Gareth Southgate is that why did it take him 80 minutes to make a substitution? Why could he not do that when Harry Kane scored the penalty in the 54th minute? Why couldn't you make a substitute straight away? Take off Henderson and bring on Mount. Take off Foden and bring on Sterling. Why could you not do that? Instead, it took him 80 minutes to make that substitution. When I saw that happen, I just knew that England aren't going to make it to the semi-final. It's because of him. This is why I told you guys I don't trust Gareth Southgate. He ain't the one, and he will never be the one. Bottled it in 1996 in the World Cup. Bottled it in the semi-final against Croatia in the World Cup 4 years ago. Bottled it in the Italy Euro 2020 final. Now he's bottled it today. 3 times in a row. During the summer ones, took England relegated to the Nations League. This is why I told you guys I don't trust him. When he was the manager at Middlesbrough, he got relegated. So why did we make him as an England manager then? Why? It just doesn't make any sense. For me, he needs to go. He needs to go. And for me, I would take either Graham Potter or Thomas Tuchel as the next England manager. But Graham Potter cannot be the England manager because he's the manager for Chelsea. So I would take Thomas Tuchel because he knows how to go through to the final and potentially win it. He done it for Chelsea and for PSG. So if he can do that for those 2 teams, maybe he can do that for England. For me, Gareth Southgate should be sacked, and Thomas Tuchel deserves to be the next England manager. Because even though he plays a back 3, he just knows a simpler way. He just knows a way to get to the final and maybe perhaps win it. Because he did it for Chelsea, and he's done it for PSG. Dortmund too. But he didn't do it in the Champions League final in 2012. But he took Dortmund to the Champions League final. He knows how to do it, Thomas Tuchel. So for me, if the FA are watching this, sack Gareth Southgate now and bring in Thomas Tuchel when England play the next game. Because for me, Gareth Southgate is simply ain't good enough to take England forward. Going to the final and perhaps winning it. He ain't the one, and he will never be the one. And I told you guys I would never trust Gareth Southgate to win anything for England. And tonight proved it. We've lost against France. And it's all his fault. Maybe the players too and the Web, but it's all his fault. He didn't get it right instead of making the substitutes early. 80 minutes it took him. Absolutely disgraceful. Disgraceful. The player, and let me talk about Harry Kane because he missed that chance. He missed that chance to make this game go to extra time. He really did. Because if he would have scored that penalty, I would have been recording this video right now. I wouldn't. I'll be still watching that game and hopefully it will go to penalties and maybe England can go through because we usually do well on penalties. Well, maybe not in the Euro 2020 final, but we did it in 2018 in the World Cup. So maybe, just maybe, if Harry Kane would have put that penalty away, it could have gone to extra time and maybe I would have been this angry and upset and heartbreaking. But he bottled it. And the rest of the players bottled it. The likes of Harry Maguire, Saka, they all bottled it. And who else? Rashford, are lucky not to score that free kick. But I wouldn't blame him because he didn't even came on that early. He came on late, you know. Mason Mount, when he came on, only made the difference just a little bit, but then he went back to an average player, you know. He's decided to take a shot rather than passing it. For me, that is not how to do play football. He didn't know how to use his brain. But for me, Mason Mount should have came on earlier because there was definitely a penalty, but Harry Kane missed that. You know, he was doing far better than Henderson throughout this whole game for a couple of minutes, but then after that, he was turning to an average player. That's the one thing I've criticized Gareth Southgate. Why take this long? Why? Why? Then the France goal, you know, really good goal. It's either Giroud's goal or Harry Maguire. I don't know which goal it is, but for me, I feel like Arda should have done better. He should, how Maguire tried to mark Giroud, but he allowed him to score. He allowed him because instead of being close to him, he was in front of him, but then he missed a header and it came off his shoulder. So for me, Maguire didn't have a really good game today. You know, Carl Walker. I say he handled Mbappe only a few bits, not all the time, but a few bits. So I thought Carl Walker was okay. The only player I can say who deserves to be praised is Bellingham, maybe Kane for scoring, Saka as well, and yeah, that's basically it. The rest of them could is shocking, absolutely shocking. Like if you perform well against Senegal, why can't you do that against France? Even though France are the better team, you know, look at Tunisia and how they beat France. Why can't we do that? Why? You know why? It's because we weren't like Tunisia. They weren't scared of France. That's how they beat them. Yeah? We've lost because we were scared of them. We didn't play like Tunisia played against France. They've only lost one game, and that was in the group stage, but they managed to qualify through. Tunisia knew how to beat France. They did. Even though they got knocked out, they knew how to beat France. We didn't. We've let the country down. The players, the manager, everything. They let the country down and they let me down too. It's simply embarrassing. I really had enough of it. Really had enough. Congratulations to France, especially Giroud, who is France's all-time leading goal scorer. So well done to him. Mbappe, he will be happy for that, you know. And France are in the semi-finals without their best players. That's why I told you guys, be scared of France. Yeah, be scared. And you guys are telling me, oh, you're not a proper England fan. Look at the result on the top of your screen. 1-2-1 France. This is what I told you guys. The only way I can see England do well is that they perform like they did against Senegal and Gareth Southgate makes it right. But he didn't. He didn't. The players didn't get it right, and he didn't get it right. That's why I knew I should be scared of France, and I knew that France would win. I knew it. I want England to prove me wrong, but they proved me right, and I hate it. I hate it when I'm right. I just absolutely hate it. It makes me sick, and it makes me embarrassing, and it makes me even more angry than I am. So this is why I told you guys, do not back this team to win it. Do not. It ain't coming home. And it hasn't come home. Another failure, an absolute failure from him. Honestly, like it's really heartbreaking. So before I end this video, Southgate out. He needs to go, and Thomas Tuchel to be the next England manager. Even though he's not for England, I'll put him there. I'll put him as the next England manager because he can go to finals and potentially win it. He can. Trust me. If you guys think I'm lying, look at the ones he did for Chelsea, Dortmund, and PSG. Then you'll see if you think I'm lying, because I ain't. I ain't lying to you. He can do it. Yes, sometimes he can bottle it, but many other times he go to the finals and win it. Like the Champions League for Chelsea, the FIFA Club World Cup, he can do it. So if he can do it for Chelsea, I know he can do it for England. So for me, Southgate needs to be sacked and Thomas Tuchel to be the next England manager. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. But yeah, that's it, guys. That is the end of this review. Before I go, I need to say, Well done to Morocco, the first African team ever to be in the semi-final after beating Portugal 1-0. And you've got to feel bad for Ronaldo because he said this year could be his last year of the World Cup. And yeah, it didn't go well for him. He started on the bench, and I would have thought that Portugal would have played better without Ronaldo. But Portugal were terrible, absolutely terrible. More chances, but they simply didn't take any. They simply cannot. So I feel bad for Portugal and I feel sorry for Ronaldo. You know, he's still my god, he's still my legend. So you got to feel bad for him the way he walked down in the tunnel in tears because it's his last World Cup and the only trophy he hasn't won. He's pretty much won everything other than the World Cup. So unfortunately, we ain't going to see Messi versus Ronaldo in the final. So really unfortunate for that one. So bad luck to him and to Portugal. And yeah, that's basically it. His last World Cup. So big up to CR7 though. So yeah, that's your a little review on that one. So yeah, it will be France against Morocco in the semi-finals of the World Cup. So let's hope Morocco beat France so that they can be making even more history by being the first African team to ever reach the final. And if they can win it, boy oh boy, I'll feel happy for them, especially for Hakim Ziyech. I'll feel happy because I'm from I was born in England, but my parents are from Africa and Nigeria, so it'll be good if Morocco win this, and you know that would be an absolute shock because I did say it's either them or Uruguay that could be the dark horses. I can't remember. You guys let me know if who I went for dark horses. So yeah, that's basically it. So well done, Morocco. Right, let me quickly talk about the weather before I end this video. I thought the weather was terrible today. Absolutely terrible. I'm not making any excuses. It's terrible. Like there was three penalties, but they only gave two of them. Only two of them, which both of them were white. But the third one should have been a penalty. Should have been a penalty because you can it's either it's inside or outside of the box. If it was kick. If it was inside the penalty area, then that should have been a penalty. But for me, he didn't give it because he thought that wasn't a foul. But for me, it was definitely a foul. So I couldn't tell by all the angles. But for me, it's either a free kick or a penalty for England. And yeah, and then they took a merry go. I thought that should have been choked off because that was definitely a foul, yeah, on Saka. The way Upamecano just, kicked on the leg. I feel sorry for Saka. I feel sorry for him. He was complaining, but the referee didn't, and the assistant didn't, give a free kick. So for me, the referee was shocking. I'm not saying that it was the only reason why he've lost, but he was part of the reason why he've lost. So for me, I'm not for me, even though we've lost. I just knew that France will definitely beat us, even though the referee was terrible. I just knew it because they weren't scared of England. We were scared of them, and tonight proved it. So for me, the referee got it horribly wrong on those decisions. Chukwuemeka's goal should have choked off, and there should have been three penalties for England. Two of them were white, but one he got one. It was definitely a foul or maybe a free kick, if you know what I mean. So yeah, the referee was shocking in this game, absolutely shocking. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's the end of this match reaction. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, if you're new, hit the subscribe button below. Hit the bonus notification so that I never miss any of my YouTube content. Make sure you smash the like if you enjoyed this, and make sure you click the share button so that you guys can give your thoughts and opinions on England's quarterfinal heartbreak against France, which it lost 2-1, as you can see on the top of your screen. So yeah, really heartbreaker for me. So England are out. We're gonna have to wait another 4 years, and yeah, we'll just see what happens. So yeah, Gareth Southgate out. Simple as that. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.